Mm-hmm.
They have slow speed.
First Corinthians.
5, 5, 5, 5, 5.
All right, we are.
Be fast.
So we did meat offered to idols. Right, the right of the apostle. I think we're here. The rights of an apostle. I'm a free man, aren't I? I'm an apostle, yeah. Because last time we did weak conscience.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So we're in the rights of an apostle.
No, the wrong story.
Bible?
I just screaming now. Bible!
There you go. Oh, that was in my ear though.
Maybe I should do it again.
I'm a free man. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, 1 through 12a. The rights of an apostle. If you're new here, we're going through New Testament for Everyone by Tom Wright, specifically in 1 Corinthians. Welcome, my friends. All right, let's dive in. I'm a free man, aren't I? I'm an apostle, aren't I? I've seen Jesus our Lord, haven't I? You are my work in the Lord, aren't you? I may not be an apostle to other people, but I certainly am to you. In fact, you are the authorized stamp of my apostleship in the Lord. This is the defense I make to anyone who wants to bring a charge against me. Do we not have the right to eat and drink? Do we not have the right to take a Christian wife with us on our travels, as the other apostles do, as the Lord's brothers do, as Cephas does? Or are Barnabas and I the only ones who don't have the right to be set free from the need to work? Who serves in the army at their own expense? Who plants a vineyard and doesn't eat its fruit? Who looks after animals and doesn't drink the milk? I'm not just using human illustrations to make the point. The law says the same thing, doesn't it? This is what is written in Moses' law. You must not muzzle a threshing ox. God isn't concerned for oxen, is he? Doesn't it refer completely to us? Yes, it does. Because it's written that the one who plows should do so in hope of the produce, and the thresher should thresh in hope of a share in the crop. So if we have sown spiritual things among you, is it such a big thing that we should reap worldly things? If others have that kind of right over you, don't we have it even more? But we haven't made use of this right. All right. So, like when you work with people, especially like pastors, like you think you should support your pastor, right?
Yeah.
The ministers around you. So right now, Paul and Barnabas have been working jobs and ministering. And so he's like saying like, you guys, like we were apostles. Like we were like the people in your area who first told you about Jesus. Like, shouldn't we use that? But we don't. We actually we just don't use it. We serve you completely. So no one can hold it over us. Commentary. One of the great moral gains.
Wait.
Oh, Logan, we need you to say commentary.
Yeah, it's it.
One of the great moral gains of the second half of the 20th century is the belief, shared by most people around the world, that all people are to be respected and valued. All people, not just some. Weak people, poor people, little people, hungry people, frightened people, people of different color, people of either sex. They all matter. And the strong, rich, big, well-fed, confident, socially advantaged people in the world have no right to do what they like with them. This has often been expressed by talking about human rights. That phrase has become common in a way that wasn't true 100 years ago. It has become a way of saying that we, the worldwide community, won't stand for tyranny and oppression, won't tolerate the bullies who exploit people for their own ends. We say that people have rights in order to say that other people don't have the rights to abuse or exploit them. Whether the worldwide community yet knows how to move from talking about all this to doing something about it remains to be seen. But in any case, talking about rights as a way of making the points has its own problems. It can be a way of standing up for the weak, but can also be a way of asserting all kinds of other things about people being independent, being able to do what they like or want in every sphere of life. In fact, about having the right to be arrogant, selfish, greedy, or whatever. Paul faces a problem of rights in dealing with the question of meat offered to idols, which he's been discussing in chapter 8, and to which he will return in chapter 10. Some of the Corinthians have been stressing that they have the right to eat whatever they like. This may be because, as strong-minded Christians, they know that a piece of meat is just a piece of meat. And what's happened to it before it gets to your plate is irrelevant.
Oh, wait, this cow. That's what meat. This is my
Uh-huh.
That's meat, right? It is!
It's meat!
It's raw, though. Oh.
Or maybe that they're reminding Paul that as Roman citizens, they have the right to join in the imperial celebrations. And Paul agrees with them. He too is a strong-minded Christian. He too is a Roman citizen and is prepared to make use of that right when it's appropriate. But his whole point is that knowing your rights is only one side of the story. So knowing, Char, my friend, that the cow is just its food in itself is one thing.
Yeah.
Is now treating others
Like a cow. Right?
with respect.
Yeah, her food.
You don't lord it over them. It'll be like,
It'll be like saying I'm better at university.
well, it's like, I think it's like, you know, we have friends and family who don't eat meat. We're vegetarians. And so it'll be like taking your delicious cooked steak and then like putting it in front of their face like, I get to enjoy delicious meat. Like, just because you have the right,
That doesn't mean you can brag about it.
or just be a jerk. Like, you gotta, like,
You gotta have respect for other people.
right. But his whole point is that knowing your rights is only one side of the story. It's not enough to say that you have the right to do something and so you're going to go ahead and do it. There may be occasions when the correct thing to do is not to act on your rights. How is Paul going to make this point clear? By describing at some length the rights he has as an apostle, and by showing dramatically that he's deliberately not making use of these rights. He wants the Corinthians to see that there can be something more than rights. That rights by themselves can lead to arrogance, the cure for which is to think about the demands of the gospel itself. So the present passage, describing Paul's view of what being an apostle is all about, is designed as an example of the right someone has, which they are then prepared not to use. At the same time, it tells us a great deal about how Paul saw the calling of an apostle. This too was a matter of some dispute in Corinth, as we saw in chapter 4, and we'll see more fully in the second letter. That, I think, is why this passage has quite a different tone of voice, full of rhetorical questions, almost teasing. So how did Paul understand apostleship? What did it involve? For a start, it meant that he had seen Jesus, the risen Lord. Verse 1. The Corinthians had had all kinds of wonderful Christian experiences, but not this one. As Paul says in chapter 15, 5-8, the risen Lord appeared to several people, but he, Paul, was the last in the list. The apostles were those who had seen Jesus alive again after his death, and who therefore could tell the world firsthand of the good news that the one true God has broken the power of death, and with it all the other powers that enslave humankind. So Paul was an apostle, and even if the rest of the world didn't think of him like that, the Corinthians certainly should, because it was through his witness that they became Christians themselves, experiencing the power of the good news through his announcement of it. But Paul hasn't behaved like the other apostles have. They, Cephas, Peter, and the rest, including the actual brother of Jesus himself, have set a standard of how apostles should live and work. The task of announcing the good news, with all the hardship and danger it brought, was to be seen as an occupation deserving of support. Those who become Christians were to fund the continuing work of the apostles. their food and drink and family needs. It was only Paul and Barnabas who had not made use of this right. He explains the point with 3 examples from ordinary life. The soldier, the vineyard worker, and the farmer all expect to get their living by what they do. And he even draws in a passage from the Mosaic Law in support, breaking up with another from a later Jewish writing, the book called Ecclesiasticus or Ben Sirach. He wants to make it quite clear, not for his own benefit, but for all Christian workers, therefore, that announcing the good news of Jesus is an activity that deserves the material support of those who benefit from it. This point is important at a time when in many parts of the world, clergy and preachers are paid at a minimal rate. True, there are other places where their work is honored, valued, and rewarded. That brings other problems, of course, but at least it shows that people are taking the principle seriously. But there are many places, including some reasonable, affluent countries, where it is considered good for clergy to be paid badly, in case they do it for the wrong reasons. But Paul would have had no time for such an attitude. If Christian people are giving as they should, he might have said, a congregation of 10 people can support and minister at the same level of their own average income. How many churches take that challenge seriously? But having made the point about the right of an apostle, and by implication those who continue the same work in the next generation, Paul comes to the crunch of his arguments. His hearers might have thought he had changed the subject, and was about to say, so is it time you begin to pay me at last? Not a bit of it. Remember, he is setting them an example. An example consists in the fact that, though he has these rights, and hasn't forgotten he has them, he has not made use of them. He will now explain why. Alright, friend. We talked enough and we can start.
Since it's a G, I keep thinking it's grounded. But I got into Roblox or something. So then I'm like, that can't be right. I'm playing Grand Peace. You know? I'm out. Right?
And that's trippy. Alright, let's change the wallpaper. That is like breaking my brain.
Doesn't it always?
Every time it does.
So I'm tricking these people.
Alright, Char, which one do you think I should have going? Anyone besides this one?
Let's go back. I accidentally summoned myself. I'm not joking. I accidentally summoned it, and now there's a kraken.
Are you finding a kraken?
No, I accidentally summoned my sea beast. Everybody's trying to attack me, and it's not doing anything to them.
That's funny.
Yo! On accident. It was actually on accident. Despawning! Despawning! Dude, it tends to despawn automatically until it dies.
Just checking something.
Oh my god. Why attacking me? What?
Alright. Alright, I have all the stuff.
This spawning already.
Alright.
Despawn. Yeah, I can kill your kraken, buddy. You can't win. I never killed a kraken before. can't believe I actually summoned.
Darn it. Come on. Ah. No. Go ahead and message him. Where are you playing? Oh, nice. I need to take a break. That's the hard part, because like that game, like we played it since early access, like 2 or 3 years ago, and so like, so it's easy, like easy to burn out. Come on.
I guess I need to go.
Mouse is weird.
Okay, yeah, no, I do not want to attack you. I'm just gonna run for my life. I don't know why.
Oh, wrong side.
Audio settings. Open sound settings. I don't do the speaker one.
Well, you gotta first, or you gotta plug in the speaker, because the speaker got unplugged because Robin was using headphones.
But I unplugged it.
Okay, then you plug in the speakers. We unplugged it.
It's the green is on.
I mean, the green could be on, but that's just power. The USB, I mean, has power. Doesn't mean you're going to get sound to it, though.
I got one.
Don't remind me.
And I'm going to you to don't have that.
Gosh. Is it better just to throw it?
Prepare to be thrown. Right? Thank you. I don't know. Wait, no, I need.
Hmm.
The biggest spirits.
Please tell me it's set now. It's open.
I'm mad. I'm mad.
Finally.
Oh,
No!
well, get wrecked. I don't know why.
Oh. Alright, let's see what's in the fridge.
What?
Make sure I have a spot.
Grandpa, huh?
Oh. Oh, what's that right magnifying glass?
I have to wait so long for a sleeping for. You need a fire.
Defrost already!
That's a bitch.
Oh. You saw me. Get it!
No. Find you south. Get south. Wait, what?
South.
Go south.
West.
Alright, I'm gonna zigzag him
What
upstairs.
have I can have the dragon ambush and I can have a costume.
You're a monster, Char! A monster! You actually change your mind. You're no longer right magnifying glass, so you're gonna be a left. Yeah.
No idea what the sound is.
I was like, this person's the lighting style seems very familiar. Meow.
Good.
Yes.
French.
I should probably turn off the cameras.
Yeah, right.
Well, I probably need it for the key card. There we go.
Ah. Hey, buddy. What's your quest?
There we go. Char. Think I'm finally done. Oh, la, 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 la. Oh. Yeah. Actually, I bet I could fix that. Let me see if I'll quickly adjust that. I don't know if I could do it midstream though. Change it. So it's at very low lag. Yeah, I can't change it midstream. Sorry, mate.
Good. I have no
Alright, see if I can get. This is the final, right? Or is this still part of Act 3?
No.
Nope.
Actually, first space.
Been through this before.
Yeah.
Nope.
Don't accidentally press space. Yeah.
Okay, no flashlights.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. That's how it's going to be right now.
Score 8.
Actually, you know what? I can
Yeah.
quickly fix it. Just give me one hot second.
Yeah.
Alright, I know how to do this.
Don't mess up. Oh, I thought I messed up.
There we go. I'm the man with a plan.
I messed up.
Okay, show more
Did I do it?
details. Okay, there is a way. The heck? Oh, here we go. Oh, it's at ultra low latency, so I don't know why there's such a huge. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Let me create a new one then. Here we go. Okay, there's a way to change it to ultra. There we go. Boop. There we go. Let me fix that now. Make sure I hit the right one. All right, here you go, friend. That should clean up the delay.